Now, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear an appeal by an NGO, Health for Millions, which challenged the Karnataka High Court's decision staying the mandatory 85% pictorial warning on cigarettes and gutkha packets. The Karnataka High Court had earlier struck down the 2014 amendment rules that mandated pictorial health warnings on the cover up to 85% of the tobacco product packaging and space. Well, of course, this is the order that's now come from, in fact, the Supreme Court waiting now to hear an appeal against the decision of the Karnataka High Court. Remember, the court had struck down, as I said, this requirement to have large-scale pictorial warnings on cigarette packets. They have become a permanent feature of those, but the Karnataka High Court, in fact, decided to do away with them. An NGO filed a plea to revise that order, and that has now been admitted by the Supreme Court. Will be heard later this afternoon. Meenakshi joins us on the phone line. Meenakshi, this warning was seen as a way to spread the awareness about the ill effects of tobacco, and the striking down of it by the Karnataka High Court will be reviewed this afternoon.
Well, indeed, Viren, and this could assume a lot of import because remember, this is the winter break that the Supreme Court is in the midst of. But in spite of that, the Honorable Chief Justice of India has listed it for an urgent hearing because somewhere he understands the significance surrounding this issue. Like you rightly pointed out, the initial order, which has now been stayed, of course, by the Karnataka High Court pertaining to the display of at least 85% on the cigarette packs and gutkha packs, a message pertaining to the ill effects of tobacco has been stayed, and this is what could weigh on the Supreme Court's mind. So the big question that we will be tracking for our viewers at 3:30 in the afternoon is if the Supreme Court goes ahead, intervenes and stays the Karnataka High Court order.
Right, Meenakshi, thanks for joining us. We'll be watching that hearing very, very closely. It's coming up a little later this afternoon. Thanks, Meenakshi, for joining us.